Happy Readers, my name is Liz and today we are going to be talking about the wonderful, amazing film that is The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, and this movie stars Oprah Winfrey and Rose Byrne and just hit me in the heartstrings. The movie itself flips back and forth between present day and past, starting with the past and talking about Henrietta and how, well, it starts with the scientific part of it and then we roll into all the personal aspects of her life and her family and all the injustices that happened not only to her family but the African American community when it came to science and still coming to science and the medical field and using this cell or the cells from Henrietta Lacks. It is a true story, yes, but also the author of the story, she is in it, she's in the whole entire thing, not in every single solitary scene, but she's in the whole movie, but also, like, we skim over her story and then we move on to talking about the family and Deborah and everything else. What's great about that is we do see her hard work and we do see her talking about her struggle of trying to get the book published and everything like that, but it doesn't really, like, show a lot of backstory or personal stuff for her, and that is good because it keeps the focus on the Lacks family and keeps the focus on Deborah and keeps the focus on what's really important in this story. What's really interesting about the music is that it pretty much follows the mood of Deborah. It's very strange, it feels very Birdman-ish, but also just its own kind of style of kind of jazz and just like being all over the place, because Deborah is this character who is the daughter of Henrietta Lacks and doesn't really remember her at all and was very young when her mother died of cancer, and after all the stuff that happened with the scientific research and living through all of the being lied to by Johns Hopkins and just family trauma and so much more. So Deborah's not a character that you're going to feel always fond of. Like, I did feel like just totally heartstrings being pulled when she finally gets to see her mother's cells, like later on in her life, being a grandmother and all that stuff, like going through all this stuff, and it's just like you finally get to see your mother's cells that have done so much for science. I thought it was very interesting how they portrayed the protectiveness of Deborah's family, and they were willing to talk to her and everything, but they were also like, our sister is in this very fragile state, she has all these issues going on and all these medications. They're taking care of her, but also she is trying to do her own research, but she's only got so much, and she is also very protective of her mother's papers and things like that, and so there are times when she's like, yes, I'm going to show you this paper, and a second later she's like, no, we've got to hold this on, or, you know, hold it back, and so it's like, it's a bit back and forth, and you're like, okay, when are we going to actually get the story of Henrietta Lacks? But it is interspersed throughout the movie, so you do get a good bit of Henrietta, and then you get like quick flashes of Deborah's actual childhood, like flashes of her living with an aunt and uncle that were abusive, and then talking about an aunt that was like really great, and meeting some older people in her family that were like really there for her. Renee Elise Goldsberry plays Henrietta Lacks, and she has so few lines, but at the same time so much impact with the world around her, not only with her biological matter, but also her just life and giving to others, and people wanting to give back to her too, because there's a part of the movie where her friends, somebody talks about her opening up her home to people, and people who claim to be her family, but they might not have actually been family, and she was like, everybody's getting fed, I don't care, everybody's getting fed. And so just, again, not just the biological stuff that she gave the world, I know stuff is the wrong word, but then like just the heart that she had. This is one of those movies that at first I was just like, okay, I don't know if I like this movie, but the more it sits with me, the more I'm like, this is an amazing film and this is so wonderful, and no wonder Oprah was like, I gotta play that character and I gotta make this movie because it's just brilliant. Like, at first I was like, do I like these characters? Do I like this story? And then again, the more that it sits with me, the more I go like, yeah, I do really like this story. I do really like these characters, even though there's some unlikable characters. They're But that's real life. That's real life. It's not all likable people. So if you would like to win a copy of this wonderful film, you need to comment below and tell me why you want to see this film. I'm going to pick two people to win a redemption code to watch the movie online on your iTunes or other such places. Just let me know below. Again, why do you want to see this movie? Why do you want to see this movie? I hope you guys have a wonderful day and keep reading, keep watching wonderful, wonderful films featuring much diversity and much just true stories and true life and just all the things.